Hello. I just came from the sauna that's in my building, hence the wet hair. And I don't know if it was due to the fact that I was, alone, naked, in a semi public place that I started thinking about something that occurred like, I don't know, 15 years ago. But yeah, I started thinking about those days when I was younger and I used to go to see gigs, like bands, a lot. And I also went to a lot of after parties and a lot of the times with the band. And well, mostly they were, the band members were my friends, or I knew them, or at least some of them. But anyway, a lot of the times I would also, sleep over at the hotel room with a bunch of guys, basically. And there was more than one time when something inappropriate happened without my consent. And what I wanted to talk about is how to process things like this. First, I want to make it really clear that when someone does something inappropriate to you, it's 100% on them and they are responsible for their actions and their behaviors. 100%. What happens next, though, is I have a choice. I can choose to stay in the anger and in the blame and in the grief and in the shame and in the belief that guys are pigs and I can wall myself off. I can put my walls up forever and I can take any upcoming situation where some guy offends me as a proof and go, see, I told you, you can't trust guys. This is what they do. And obviously in that scenario, I will stay miserable and carry that hurt forever. Well, what else can I do? You've probably heard people say you should forgive and let go. And while I don't disagree, but that easily creates misunderstandings. Because I don't think you should just, shrug that off and tell yourself and to others that it doesn't matter and push down your feelings and, move on. My perception of forgiving someone or something is that you accept the fact that it has happened and you stop resisting the fact that this is what went down. And the way to let go of difficult feelings is to go through them first. So allow yourself to feel all those feelings. And when I say feel your feelings, I mean actually feel your feelings. And I'm not saying listen to the stories that your mind is creating. Because what actually happens is that the feelings come first and then your mind creates stories around the feelings. And once you've actually processed through your feelings, those stories, you'll notice that they disappear. And then once you've processed the feelings, then you can ask yourself, what did I learn from this? Because as I said in the beginning, no, it wasn't your fault. But there's always something that you can learn from any situation. And for example, what I learned in those situations was, first of all, that I was in a state in which, you know, for some reason I wanted to put myself in those kinds of situations, which I wouldn't do now. So I think there was some part of me that didn't, first of all, have good boundaries, because obviously I knew that something like that could happen in a situation like that where everyone's drunk and, you know. My self-respect wasn't great at the time, and I was looking for validation. And also be kind to yourself, because you you weren't in the same place you are now. You were making decisions based on who you were at the time, and that was the way you made decisions. You based them onto who you were and what was going on in your life back then. And if you hadn't gone through those experiences, you wouldn't be the same person you are today. The super wise one. And if that was something that happened, you know, yesterday or a week ago, it might be difficult to see the lesson in it straight away, and that's okay. You know, I learned and realized these things like maybe 15 years later. So yeah, be kind to yourself. But once you are able to process these kinds of stuff and are actually able to let go of them and learn from them, you become such a strong person.